Guys, welcome back. It is Racer X, and today I'm actually on the way to a shop on the southwest side of Fort Worth where I'm going to meet my good buddy Rob. He is the one with that beautiful SRT Charger, that 392. It's got a cam in it, it's got headers, he's got a bunch of stuff done to that car. But it's going to be really interesting to see what that car actually dynos, because I think there's a lot of sort of speculation, or certainly a lot of conversation about, does a cam really even help that car? How much horsepower does it truly gain? Well, I've seen it in person, I've ridden in it, it does seem to make a difference, but I'd be interested to see what kind of power that car actually makes on a dyno, because as we know, the dyno doesn't always translate to the street. So we're gonna go find that out. It should be a fun one. Also, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe down here in the corner. Here we go. We got the 1,000 horsepower helmet. All right, check it out. We found Rob's car. He's letting it cool down, getting ready to put it on the dyno here shortly. I always look at these wheels, guys, but they are, man, I love his wheels. Anyway, really well put together car. So we'll get that pulled in here momentarily. Give you a little shop tour here. Everybody's standing in here doing their thing. Got some Trans Image. And then, of course, we got some ZR1s in here, which I'll show you guys. This is a really nasty car here. Pro-charged car, ZR1. Yep, that thing's pretty sick. And you got this one. Another ZR1. Definitely got some stuff going on with it as well. So apparently the same guy owns all these cars. Check out this Chevelle SS. This is a bad daddy here too. Got a really nice looking brake setup going. There he is. So we got our buddy Rob here. We got Joe here in the car. He's gonna pull this bad boy in and we'll get it on the rollers. So he's got a new exhaust on this since the last time you guys saw the car. That is actually an exhaust from a company called AWE, and it's a resonated touring exhaust, and I love the tips on this thing. Really sharp, sounds really, really good. Those are the numbers from the stock dyno that he had a while back. As you can see, 428 horsepower, 426 torque. That is SAE, so I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. So anyway, essentially this was in stock form. So really the big thing is, let's get it on the dyno and see what it picks up with the mods. And I'll actually run through his mods as well for you. All right, guys, we got the fans running. I want to kind of give you just a real quick rundown of the mods so you sort of know what kind of power it's making based on, obviously, the mods that he has. So right here we've got a B Mason ported intake. I'm not sure how much power that actually adds, but he does have that. He's also got just a regular Hellcat filter, nothing crazy going on here. He does have a 84 millimeter true bore throttle body here, so certainly that will help. Now he does have long tube headers from Stainless Works. He's got the high flow catalytic converters. He's got the AWE resonated touring exhaust like we just mentioned. And really the only other big thing is the B Mason custom camshaft. And that's really what we're trying to measure here. I mean, the other ones add a little bit of power. The camshaft probably picks up more than all the other mods combined. So we'll see what this thing actually puts down. It should be pretty cool. All right, so predictions. What's the car gonna make? Not enough. So realistically, what do you think it's gonna make? Okay, so like 480, 485, you'd be happy with that?
I could be satisfied with
Yeah. All right, we'll see what it does. Well, guys, it looks like we're having a little bit of trouble with the dyno. It keeps kind of cutting off on us, and we're working on some software stuff. But I do want to make a couple of quick mentions here. So when we really look at the numbers, the car with all the mods before the cam went in made somewhere around 28 additional horsepower over stock. Now what we've seen actually after dynoing it with the cam in there is that the thing makes about an additional 24 with the cam, and that's about what we expected. It's not a crazy cam, guys. It's not a huge power, you know, ridiculous big lopey cam. The great thing about this cam is it's kind of a sleeper cam. You almost can't tell that it's in there, but I think there's something to be said for that because the car is still very, very streetable, very, very drivable, and it is just a really nice performing cam because it picks up power all over the board. So something to be said for that. And a couple other things, guys. I know the comments always come in like, oh man, for that amount of money you should have just gone and got a Hellcat or whatever. You're always going to have those people that say that, but here's the thing. This car, as well sorted as it is, and I guarantee you this is one of the nicest 392s you are ever going to see. This thing is meticulous, it is well sorted, it is consistent, it is reliable, and it's paid for. So not everybody has a car that is completely paid for like this one is, and he's got it running really, really well. And the other thing is, the dyno numbers don't always tell you what the car is truly capable of doing at the track. So the car, like when you feel it on the road, actually feels like it picked up way more than 50 something odd horsepower, especially like on the big end when you're making highway pulls. This thing is actually a monster, and it will really surprise you. I do also want to make another point, guys. These numbers are corrected numbers. So these are not STD numbers. These are smooth numbers. So if you're talking about STD numbers or standard numbers, the numbers are actually higher, probably by about 15. So you'd probably be looking at more like 495. So I think it's very important people understand, well, my car made 600 with an intake or whatever. I mean, come on, guys, let's be honest about it. A lot of shops use STD numbers instead of the corrected numbers, and it makes a huge difference. All right, guys, so check it out on the that particular pull, SAE 487, almost 488, so it did pick up about 8 horsepower. 488 on the torque as well. Now this curve actually represents pre-cam and post-cam, so you can see the green there is before the cam, red after. So you can actually see how nice that cam is in terms of where it picks up power. It's really all over the place, but that is the car's best run to date. Very, very solid work on that one. Guys, just for reference, we can see the baseline number, what the car made essentially stock, and now of course what it is making after the cam and all of the mods. You can see the thing picked up about 60 rear wheel horsepower and about 62 pound-feet of torque, all things said and done. So the car is doing its thing. So after that pull, we're able to really tell how much power that cam is making. So we're looking at about 25 pound-feet of torque on that, and then somewhere around 31 horsepower it actually picked up. A little better pull from the car on that one. And like I mentioned, guys, you can really feel it when you're driving it. It feels like way more horsepower that it picked up than 31, but you can still see it on the dyno. All right, buddy, so we got your pull in. Your car made slightly more than what you were thinking. So are you happy with it?
Yeah, all in all, absolutely.
Yeah. And like I said, guys, the car on the street is a beast. So, I mean, it doesn't always show up on the dyno, but it made slightly more power. And, the car ran a solid number, especially. Well, there you have it. So the car picked up, 31 horsepower with the cam, somewhere around 25 pound-feet of torque. And it's a pretty solid number out of that cam. That cam is very streetable, works great for a daily. And the way that cam works is it really just pulls hard on the big end. So on the highway is really where that cam shines. But the car just runs fantastically. That is one of the best looking 392s in terms of how it's sorted. I mean, it's just a really, really cool car. So anyway, guys, I know it's tempting to say, oh, just go buy a Hellcat or just go buy, this car or that or do whatever. But at the end of the day, that thing runs really, really well, and I know he's very, very pleased with it. So guys, let me know what you think about it in the comments down here below. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.